47 books were sent to me for my birthday. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Hey folks, it's Abby and today I'm giving you guys my birthday book haul. So my birthday was back on the 13th of October, I turned 26 and you guys gave me far too many books and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much to every single person who sent me anything. You didn't have to, I really appreciated it. My Amazon wishlist is now a much more reasonable size. I will of course link everyone who has any links down below in the description. I got them all organised by who gifted me what, and so I'm just trying to pick where to start and then we're going to delve right in. I think the best place to start is with my other half, my partner. He got me one singular book and that is The Story of the Earth in 25 Rocks by Donald R. Prothero. This is something that either he or Carrie would give me. It is a non-fiction all about geology essentially and I'm genuinely flipping through it, really excited to read it. It seems really up my street, so 100% here for this. Thank you so much, my love. And then the last person who doesn't have anything to link to or anything like that is I got Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez from my wonderful friend Annie. I did my masters with her. She was one of my closest friends. I adore her so much and I'm also so excited to read this. It's been on my wish list for so long. A non-fiction all about misogyny and how things are physically designed for men. I'm here for this. And then the only non-bookish present that I got from people that weren't directly related to me and that is from Alex Black Reads, and she gifted me these dangly earrings which are the books for the first 9 books in the Skullduggery Pleasant series. I love them so much. So I have the very original UK covers for my series and this is a mix of all the different paperbacks. I've been tempted to buy the paperbacks to have all of the covers and now I don't need to, and they're also just so cute. And also seal of approval, Alex. I showed my mum and she went, oh, I almost bought you those a couple of years ago. So you have the seal of approval from my mother. That is very difficult to come by. And of course Alex's channel will be linked down below. Then these are 100% not in order, my apologies Alex, but my wonderful uncle who runs a fantastic page called On This Gay Day gifted me the remaining books in the Tales of the City series by Armistead Maupin. I'm gonna drop them all. So these are not in the correct order, but we have More Tales of the City, Marianne in Autumn, Further Tales of the City, Baby Cakes, Significant Others, Sheer of You, The Days of Anna Madrigal, and lastly is Michael Tulliver Lives. So these are a series that is based in the, I think it's in the 1950s in California, written by an LGBTQ+ writer. He is gay, he lives with his husband, and it is about a bunch of, a mixture of gay and straight individuals just trying to actually live their lives as human beings. I adored the first book so much, so I'm really excited to delve into the rest of these. Alex, thank you. And also, I go on about Alex's pages all the time, but On This Gay Day is such a wealth of resource about the LGBTQ+ community, so please do go and follow him if you have any interest in that whatsoever. Then from the wonderful Renee from Renee Reads, she gifted me The Imagination Chamber by Philip Pullman, which is described as cosmic rays from Lyra's universe, and it's just small little tidbits, some of them very small, just ideas that Philip Pullman had of like little scenes that he could write, or little plot points that he could have within Lyra's universe, within, you know, his Dark Materials and the Book of Dust. I love his Dark Materials. I still haven't watched the TV series. I'm very bad with TV and film and stuff, so I need to get on with that. But I adore his Dark Materials so much, and this copy is just stunning as well. Like, it's beautiful. Renee, thank you. Also, I've already read this. So you can go up here with my other his Dark Materials items. There we go. Then from Celine Does Stuff, Celine Reads Stuff. It is in the description. Celine, do not come for me. And she gifted me 2 amazing books. One that I've read already, which is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. I loved this little sci-fi novella. I read it via audiobook and I'm so excited to be able to reread it physically because I think I'm going to love it a lot more. And also The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper, which she, I believe, has read. Yes, it was her best surprise of 2022, and I put it on my TBR because Samantha Shannon said it was amazing, and I read everything and adore everything by her, so I'm so excited to read this and see if I agree with Samantha Shannon and with Celine. And yeah, you should really go follow Celine because she has the most aesthetic setup. Why are you here? On that note, Like, excuse the setup, but I've been trying to film this for ages and it's always nighttime and or dark, so I've given up and I'm now using a daytime lapse. So please let me know how bad this is, quality-wise. Thanks! It's also why I'm not moving around as much as I usually do, because it means also trying to find somewhere to put the light, which is awkward. Then the wonderful Veronica from Veronica's Shelf, another one of my Swedish friends, but this one I've met through BookTube. She sent me 2 books. The first one is Mio's Kingdom, which is the second book that she sent me by Astrid Lindgren. You will know this author as the author of Pippi Longstockings, but I have read by her a very, very, very short story, like 5 pages, and also The Brothers Lionheart, which I adored. I've read the first 7 pages of this and then had to put it down because I was supposed to be at work, and I can already tell it's the same vibes as The Brothers Lionheart. I'm so excited to dive into this. It's just going to be a beautiful, translated from Swedish, children's story. And then the other book that she got me was Ace by Angela Chen, and this is a non-fiction book about asexuality. I've wanted to read this for so long. I almost bought it. My uncle, when I went down to London, I met up with my uncle and with Olivia, who I will mention next, seeing as this links in. He took me to Gaze the Word. It's the first LGBTQ+ place he had ever been introduced to, and I almost picked this up. I was so close. So thank you very much, Veronica. I'm so, so grateful. Then, like I said, we are on to Olivia. So I was able to actually meet up in person with Olivia for the first time. We've been friends for over 2 years now and we'd never met in person. We got to finally meet up, which was so, so lovely. It was so lovely to meet you. And when we were there, she actually gifted me one of the 3 or 4 books that she got me for my birthday. Thank you. And that is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. This is a non-fiction by a death-positive YouTuber that I've been watching for a long time. I love her content so much and I've been wanting to read this for years. Olivia's read it and she saw that I was like, oh my god, I really want to read that, and so she got me it. Thank you. She also got me, no one is surprised, the second book in the Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, because I read the Raven Boys and I liked it and she was very happy. So she's helping me to continue on the series. And then the final 2 books that she got me is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo in 2 parts. So I don't know, because literally like part 2 starts on page, let me check as I drop everything. 497 is what this starts on. So this is one book. I don't know why they didn't just publish it, because this is thinner than The Count of Monte Cristo and War and Peace. So I don't know why they didn't just publish it in one very big book, but here we are. Does it count as 1? Does it count as 2? Olivia wants it to count as 2 because she hates me. But then also if it counts as 2, then I get to say that I've read 2 books, which is not true, so what are we doing here, Olivia? But yes. Regardless of her evil intentions to make my TBR as long as possible, thank you so much. Me and Olivia are going to be reading Les Mis together at the beginning. Well, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through, but we're going to start on the 1st of January 2023. It's going to be our big book for that year, which I'm so excited for. Thank you so much. Then Chels from Not So Secret Bookaholic. If you were going to get me anything, I think I could have guessed you were going to get me this. So this is Cold from the North by D.W. Ross, and this is a high fantasy, indie fantasy book that has been doing the rounds on Fantasy BookTube, and especially on Chels' channel. I've been very tempted to pick it up. So grateful that you grabbed me this, Chels. I am really excited to dive in, especially because I've heard you guys saying so many good things about this book. So, very excited and very grateful. Thank you. Then I got books from Hannah. And technically only 2 of them are birthday presents, but I feel like I should mention them. So let's pop these down. We'll start with the 2 that are actually intended for my birthday. First up we have The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, and then we have The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I've wanted to read N.K. Jemisin for years now, and City of Brass is something that people keep telling me that I'm going to love. So I'm so grateful for both of these, Hannah. You know that I've wanted to read them for ages. Thank you so much. Then Hannah unhauled the 2nd and 3rd books in the Demon Road trilogy by Derek Landy. We've both read the first one. I'm going to continue them on purely because it's Derek Landy and I just kind of want to be completionist about it. Hannah decided that she ain't reading no more of that trash. Fair. So these aren't birthday presents, but also they felt like they were because they came in the same package, so thank you. And then the final ones that definitely aren't, but regardless, I'm going to mention them. The first one is a book that I won from Lizzie's Middle Earthathon read-along. I won a copy of Lord of the Rings, which was, of course, supplied by Waypoint Books. Thank you very much. Waypoint Books is Hannah's little indie bookshop, FYI. Go check out the website. So I'm really excited to have a physical, gorgeous physical copy of this, and I'm so lucky that I won that giveaway. The final one that like really doesn't count, because once she sends me the invoice, I will be paying Hannah for these. She's not sent me it yet. That is the first 5 books in the Douglas Adams series, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So we've got The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe and Everything, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, and Mostly Harmless. We are going to be reading these in 2023. I actually have book 6 already. What's it called? And Another Thing, which is written by Owen Colfer rather than by Douglas Adams. I have that because my other half bought it. So yes, these also came in the same box because, you know, why not just ship them together? And therefore, despite paying for them, they felt like a birthday present. So thanks, Hannah. Obviously, Waypoint Books is linked down below, along with everyone's channels. Just Then Becca from the Comic Book Sanctum got me The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen and The Everlasting Road by Danielle Clayton. I've read The Bells. I adore The Bells. It's up there. It's hidden. I reorganised my shelves. I need to fix that. I've read The Bells and adored it. It's such a gorgeous story and I'm so excited to finally finish out this duology because I read The Bells as an arc and then never got around to The Everlasting Rose. So very excited to finally finish this. Thank you so much, Becca. And then The Merciful Crow. I keep seeing people talking about it, especially Becca from Becca and the Books. I'm very excited to dive into this one. Thank you so much. Then the wonderful human being who is Carrie, of course, sent me 1 non-fiction and 2 fantastical books that she has read and enjoyed and she thinks I'll enjoy. Is anyone surprised? No. The non-fiction is Notes from Deep Time by Helen Gordon. This is a non-fiction about geology. Hello, very excited to read this. This one actually came with no note and I was saying to Chris, I was like, who could have sent me this? He's like, it's Carrie. Carrie sent you it. So, thanks, Carrie. The other 2 books that she sent me are the 2nd and 3rd book in this series. I forget the name of the series. I only read The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter recently by Theodora Goss. So we have European Travels for the Monstrous Gentlewoman and The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerising Girl. Very, very excited to read both of these. I loved the first one and I'm also reading Dracula as of filming. So this one apparently will make a lot more sense once I've read Dracula. Very excited for that. Why this is so huge and they didn't just make it 4 books, I don't know. It's a little bit intimidating. Regardless, Carrie, you know that I'm excited to read these, especially because you've loved these 2 books as well, so I know that the series carries on and is solid, but also because I really enjoyed the first one, so thank you so much. And then last, but by no means least, is Caitlin from Mad Cheshire Rabbit. I'd just like to remind you all that Caitlin is a student with no income. So the first book that Caitlin got me is one that I added to my wishlist because of her, and that is The Man Who Planted Trees by Jean Giono. I've read this already, I loved it. It is a very short little classic all about environmentalism and planting trees. It's gorgeous, so I'm not surprised that she ended up getting me it after she's the reason I added it to my wishlist, but thank you, I'm so grateful. It's a gorgeous little story, you were totally right. Then she got me the last book in the 4 Treasures series, The Spear of Truth by Caroline Logan. This is a fantastic YA fantasy series based around Scottish mythology with a Scottish author. It is amazing, Cranachan Publishing is lovely, and I'm so excited but also so nervous to read it. I'm nervous because I don't want the series to end, but I'll just reread it all. They're really readable, they're so readable that it's taken me a while to get so lost in books like I get lost in these. They're beautifully done. Then for some modern classics, she got me Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This one has been on and off of my TBR a few times, and then I read Babel and Arif Kwang said that she was inspired by it and I was like, okay, well now it's on the TBR. So thank you very much for getting me a copy. And Rebecca is just one that I've heard so many people talking about. I know the general concept of it, of like the woman with the previous wife and all of that, and that this person has no name, but I've never read it myself and I'm very excited to dive in, so thank you so much. And then the last thing, technically, that Caitlin got me, because she is mad, absolutely stark raving bonkers, is the Sabriel box set by Garth Nix, which includes Sabriel, Lyriel, Abhorsen, Clariel and Golden Hand, all by Garth Nix. You are insane. I've only read Sabriel and I fell in love and was like, I require all of these books. I have the more recent one that isn't in this, I have it in hardback and signed by Garth Nix. I have the short story collections that Olivia has very kindly sent to me when she's been unhauling them. And I've only ever read Sabriel, but it's all about death and there's a talking cat. So, have you met me? Nice to meet you. It's an Australian author writing about death with a talking cat. Hi! This is my jam. So yeah, I'm so excited to delve into these now that I actually have them in my house. I can actually read Lyriel. Oh, I'm so excited. So thank you so much, Caitlin. You should not have, You should not have, but I'm very grateful. Thank you. And those, the ridiculous amount, are all of the books that my wonderful friends sent me. Thank you so much. You all didn't have to, please. They all, apart from my friend Annie and my partner Chris, have social media links down below in the description. Please go and check them out. They are all amazing content creators. Their content is fantastic and they all put so much effort into it, but they're also wonderful human beings, and I'm so grateful that I have them in my life. So thank you all so much. Before I end this little haul, I will mention the 4 books I got myself, because when I met up with my uncle Alex, we went book shopping. So the first book that I got was when we went to Forbidden Planet. This is all in London, and that is The Butcher by Laura Cat Young. This is about a young woman whose mum, like, kills people. That's her job. She dismembers guilty residents as payment for their petty crimes, and then her mum refuses to do it one time, and so they kill her mother, and she has to then take on the role, and it's all about that. Sounds dark, sounds evil. I am here for it. And then the next 3 books I got from Gaze the Word, which is, I think, the first LGBTQ+ bookshop in London, so I'm very excited for these. The first one is a non-fiction called Fabulosa, which is the story of Polari, kind of LGBTQ+ slang language, and the history of that. Then we have The Seep by China Porter, which is a horror mixed with a bit of sci-fi as well, which I'm excited to dive into. And then the final one is a signed copy of The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, which is a high fantasy book. So yeah. These were my birthday treats to myself. Let me know down below, folks, if you have read any of these and what you thought of them. If I need to kind of boost any up higher on my TBR, please do let me know. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you'd like to see some more from me in the future, please hit the subscribe button, and all of my links are in the description. And I'll catch you folks in the next video. Bye!